Like something.
The examples, like as in writing the examples in a terminal. So one person will be doing the presentation, one person will be doing the practical thing. So I think with that, all of us by the end of the day, all of us will take part in that thing. And I really want us to meet again after this session, hopefully like we did yesterday, so that we structure what we are going to present tomorrow very well. So I don't know. I sent a file in the group. I don't know if you guys have taken your time to go through the commands that I wrote and the examples that I gave. I don't know if you've taken time to. So let's practice what I sent. And also, I believe in the evening, we will look at how Queensley you structured your thing and we come up with maybe a proper presentation. I think that's what I also suggest.
Okay, thank you for your submission. Um, James, Aziz, or Sir Jacob, any submission? Okay, I think James has given his submission. I've given mine and Bismarck too. So the rest of you, if you have any other contribution, yeah. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't have. Yeah, China, but yeah. I don't have any submission. I think I
But
agree
what
with
do you
James.
think?
I agree with James.
As in,
I mean, he said one person should do the presentation and then the rest will sit back for the answering of the questions. So
okay. So you want to go with what James said? Okay. So
yeah.
Ose,
Hello.
so now we have two people saying one person should present and two saying it shouldn't be that way. Bismarck and I. So Ose, let's hear what you are
Hello.
saying then. Yeah.
Okay, before Jose comes in, it's
Okay.
like with my idea, I brought that idea up before you got the feedback from David, right? So that was the idea I brought on board before you consulted David, and David said it's like everyone should take part, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
a
like
group
right,
work. So we
yes,
all
need to
have.
be together. So I think now mine will not work, or it's
Okay.
not going to be, yeah. So it means everyone is supposed to take part.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm dropping mine. So let's hear, others' view, like on how we can
Okay.
best do this, and yeah.
Okay.
So
Fine. So
like
that's fine.
how Bismarck suggested, let someone else talk, and I mean, let's make this late, right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for your submission. So as we've all heard, James is dropping his decision, the submission he made earlier that one person should do because it's a group something here. So Ose, you wanted to also make a contribution.
Okay, so um unless one of us has a peculiar challenge with device and internet, I'm
Okay.
going with the submission that all of us should do this. Maybe we can split it into maybe four or five main presentation. But then we have one presentation, and then we are having everybody coming in at a point to do a part of the presentation. Yeah, the only twist I have is from what you said is that, for example, if you take the managing what's crap, is it
Processes. Yeah.
managing processes? Okay, what I'm currently working on is working with Linux commands. You see, working with Linux commands is made up of different commands. So, for example, something like that, we cannot just let somebody give one opening general introduction and then that is all. Each of the commands that we want to demonstrate, the person has to talk about it briefly. Now, for example, this command, this is what it does. Then he proceeds to do a demonstration. Then he can go to the next command, say briefly what the command is supposed to do. Then he proceeds to do the demo. So if, for example, we're going to have, for example, what I'm just suggesting that let's have the whole thing we're going to present put together. Maybe it's a PowerPoint or something. So everybody has it. Then we can say, okay, maybe from slide 1 to slide 10, Bismarck, you are the one you are the one going to do that presentation. But all of us should be at the same page with that. So that when questions are asked, we can answer or come in. So he does the presentation and does the demonstration alongside. He just shows his slide for maybe the first working with Linus command, shows his terminal, does the presentation, and then just talks through. So he's done with his presentation. Then we'll go to the next person comes in like that, and then we proceed.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So you are putting together
Aziz, Jacob.
together the whole thing. So let's just have the whole thing working with Linus commands and then managing processes, everything together, every command will be extracted, and then the demos we are going to use. Then everybody in the group is conversant with each of them. Then we can just share the which parts somebody is doing like that. Then we are good to go tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that's also submission too. Please, is there anything else?
Yes, I think after everything, like he said, we have to meet again this evening, like we did yesterday, and structure the thing properly and know what each person will be doing, and the commands will also be running. So I think for the command yesterday, we did some. And yes, like the file of the license, all the commands that we did yesterday are in. And the results, the commands and everything, I've actually explained everything. So let's meet again this, but I believe we have to meet early so that we can take care of everything. I hope tomorrow we will be doing the first presentation.
Group. Like we fit do the cases as a group. So right now we rep the first this one. So this will be the first things we do. So now for the second part, this one with the shell scripts, right? So that one maybe it will start from 9 downwards. So see. And then main throw top, no main my head in the way first this one we get down.
Yeah.
So we go no see. This be the things we go
That'd be
talk
one
for
up.
the bash cell group.
Yeah.
So this one will be the bash shell scripting, right?
Scripting.
So then we go name that one to 1. Let's start from 1.7. Then 9 will be so ambiguous. So 1, okay. Oh, okay. We'll load down for new window inside. Okay. Like me, I scroll go down. So you go page 1. Then start from there. Things will be present. Okay. So the first thing we will talk of is what is bash scripting. So before know that will be script. So that will be script. What script talks about. Then example. So we will give example and everything.
Yeah.
Give example for the first thing. If you read the bash script, then you see before use this one. So then the steps. So like the process of creating a script first, you have to create a script using like from the morning class now. They taught us you can use Nano or Vim to create a script.
Yeah.
So you create it, then we set execute permissions. If you are not the owner of the file, maybe you can have only read and write access. You cannot execute it on your machine. So you have to get the execute permissions. I've not talked about that one where R is read, W is write, and X is execute. No group has spoken about that yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about that. The processes of creating a script after the definition of a script, processes of creating a script. So basically after the processes, we have to demonstrate, right? So they have even given us an example here, so we can use that one. We have to practice that one also. So process of creating a script will be also there. Then okay, this one is the Amazon, this one. You remember, Steven, when we were creating the EC2 instance, right?
EC2
We were able to
instance,
put
yeah.
all the commands like studio yum updates into the user data, and it created
Yeah.
everything for us at once instead of SSHing into your local terminal, then doing the command 1111. You remember say even demonstrated that for us, right?
Yeah, I
So
remember.
we can do that one, or so that one, I think that one will be this one. We have basic scripting, basic
Syntax.
scripting syntax. So that one we will talk about that, how the syntax looks like. You know, Seth told us about some share bank thing, which will tell the operators which interpreter to use. You know, when you say something like that, when show me notepad this you want to say, oh yeah, BBC. Okay, that one extra script.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other
Yeah,
way.
okay.
So
kind of,
these two things be the share bank, you know. So this one will tell the computer which operating which interpreter to use. So to use the bash shell, you know bash shell. Yeah, we have many. We can have the Python. If you want Python, we just do user.bin/Python. You know, Python 3 is the current one. Python. So to tell the computer that you use Python to run the script, right? So this one will tell the scripting, the shell script, the bash script. The bash will tell the this one to use bash to run the script, so it will be running a bash shell. Good. So this one will be the part of the basic scripting syntax. And also this one, if something, you know, the number sign was followed by the exclamation. That's why it's a share bank. But if you have exclamation echo, something like this, or in a script you have this, you know, we use the number sign for just commenting. It will just comment the whole line. So when it is running the script, that line will not be part. So it will be, maybe you are writing a document and you want to add the date or time. Maybe which raw script this will go into this and print all variables that start with A. But also on the panel trust our script, maybe the actor can add an to this space like this. Actor, you see, Stephen. So this one will help with documentation, but it will not run. What I say. So everything that starts with this sign alone is a comment in shell scripting. And evening time we will look at all that. Evening time is even
Okay. Okay.
So for the four, you see this it's the pound character.
Yeah.
So batch ignores lines that are preceded with this. So it's for commenting. The dollar character is used to define comments or notes to the user that might provide instructions or options. I hope you guys are following there.
Yeah, Charlie.
Okay. So this one is everything is even in the slides already. So the first line defines the interpreter. You get it? So I think the slides
what you type now?
Are the same thing. So so that this one helps with script documentation. You get them there. Use minimum. Let me see something.
Asterisk now.
Okay.
What did it talk?
The asterisk. The dollar the number sign. It tells a script documentation. Maybe you want to write a script, but from the beginning of to write the name of the script, what you are doing, the description, you put all in the number, and you put a number and the number sign before them so that it will serve as a documentation. Maybe I wrote it, Kwame wrote it, and you, Stephen, are coming to read it. So when you look at the documentation, you know that, oh, okay, it was written by Kwame on this day, what he's trying to do. The description will give you an overview of what he was trying to do. You get it?
Yeah.
So that's what the script documentation was with. So if I didn't add it, so script documentation, right? Then it's almost time. 5. The batch variable, we talk about it in the first one. So we have to do useful commands also. Then 6. So this is just a demonstration. So we can look at this and we'll follow these steps and we'll try to do it to get it. so that it will help us know we have the hands-on experience. So in the evening, we'll do all those things. Then we'll talk about operators in shell scripting. So, arguments in shell scripting. Expressions also of conditional statements. If there's a conditional statement, you have a fair view about it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you want the script to take an action when it reaches a junction. Maybe if a number is greater than 3, then you should do this. Or if that number is less than 3, you should do this. So conditional statement. So when you reach a junction, is to take one route instead of to weigh all the options and see, okay, this is
Okay, guys. Group 2, your team lead, please take over for the next 1 hour. That will be 1 hour, 26 minutes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Okay, so this is group 2, and we are about to do our presentation. So I'll call on my presenters to start with the whole presentation. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, colleagues.
Good afternoon, Sylvia.
You're all welcome to this afternoon's session. I am Sylvia Baltus from Group 2, and today we'll be presenting on working with the Linux file system, working with files in Linux, then finally we move on to managing Linux file permissions. So we will start with working with the Linux file system. So at the end of this program, you will be able to navigate files and directories in Linux, then manage files and directories using commands, understand absolute and relative paths, then finally Linux file system structure. So one thing we have to note that in Linux, everything we see there is a file. Everything we see in Linux is a file. Being it the configurations, that is the network settings, IP address, the commands such as the ls, bin, the hardwares or directories, they are all files in Linux, and they are all represented as files in Linux. Also, Linux is case sensitive. Linux is case sensitive. So with this, it means that it treats both upper cases and lower cases as distinct characters. So for instance, if you save a file as andy.txt and the Andy, you start with a capital A, and let's say you want to find the text, that is the file andy.txt, and you use small a to search for it, you wouldn't find it because you named the file as capital A. So it is important for you to note that it is case sensitive. And we have some important directories, that is the /, which is the root. Then we have the user home directories, the temporary mount point, and the system configuration files. These are some directories that we have. Then also we come to the file system hierarchy standards. With the file system hierarchy standards, all it says is it is organized in a hierarchical manner with root directory at the top. So when it comes to Linux file system, it is organized in a hierarchical manner with root directory at the top, and all other directories and files are contained in the root directory. All other files and directories are contained in the root directories. So if, example, the ls-l / that one, it means it will display the list of files in the root directory. It will display the list of files in the root directory. Then also the next point is the file naming conventions and extensions. So when it comes to the file naming conventions and extensions, we name a file in Linux in order to organize and identify the files on our computer systems. And when naming your files in Linux, it is important to note certain points so that to avoid certain mistakes. And one of it is the name you give to your file must describe the type of file you are saving. So it has to describe the content of your file. So if, let's say, you want to save something about yourself, you have to give it a name that will reflect what's in the content of the file. And naming the file must be also very short. You don't need to write lengthy words to describe or name the file. And also you have to avoid certain characters when naming your files. So you can just go with a few letters, numbers, underscore, and hyphens. And also when naming a file, it is advised that you avoid using space to name your file. So instead of using a space, you can use the hyphen or underscores. So for instance, I want to save a file as sylviabaltus.txt. So instead of me leaving a space between the Sylvia and the Baltus, I can decide to use either underscore or hyphen to space them out instead of the space button. Then we come to the file extensions. So we use the file extensions to identify the type of file being saved. So if you have a text file, you can use .txt or .doc or .docx to name text files. If you have a picture, you can use the JPEG to name it, and .png to name pictures. If you also have a spreadsheet, you can use the XLS to name spreadsheet. If it's a PDF, you can use .pdf to name that file. So I'll leave it. So we'll move on with the essential Linux commands, but that one I'll leave it to my brother Daily to continue and give us the technical aspect of it.
All right.
Okay, guys. Good afternoon. I am Deli the Grant, and I'm going to be running with you throughout this presentation some of the usual commands that we use to navigate and manage files in Linux. So our dear sister has spoken extensively about the file hierarchy standard. So to demonstrate, I'm going to use one of the popular commands that I'm sure all of us are familiar with. But before I continue, if you have any question, you can please put it in the chat. When we are done with the presentation, we'll go through the chat and we'll try and answer your questions. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay. That's okay.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to illustrate using the ls command. Okay, most of us are familiar with the ls command. So if I press enter, these are some of the files and directories that we can find in this current directory I'm working on. Okay, so as you can see, some of them are highlighted in blue, some of them are just in white. So the ones in blue are directories, and the ones in the one with the white text is the files. So the ls comes with a lot of options, all right? So I'm going to go through some of the options for all of us to see. So when we do the ls, one of the options that comes with the ls is the -l, the -l option. So what the -l option does is to give us detailed information of the various files in our present working directory. So as you can see, we have much more information than the first output that we saw. Okay, so if you look carefully, you can see 7 different information about each of the files. Okay, so if you can see from the first item in our directory, it is a directory which is called hymns. Okay, and the way I know that it is a directory is because if you look at the first letter, it starts with a D. Okay, so the D indicates that that particular item is what is a directory. Okay, if it is supposed to start with a hyphen, then it means that we are looking at a regular file. Okay, sometimes too you may see it begin with an L. Okay, when it begins with an L, it means that it is a linked file. Okay, a symbolic link. Okay, which I'm sure we'll get to that later on. Okay, so next we see various permissions of each of the files. Okay, we see read, write, and execute. Okay, then we have the owners and the group that the owners belong to. You can see root. Okay, so the root stands for the owner, and the second root you see there is the group that the root belongs to. So the root user then belongs to the root group. Okay, then you can see that we have 4096, which represents the size of the file. Okay, all right, so that's just about that. So now another option we have with the ls command is the -a option. Okay, the -a option. Okay, so if you look closely at this, you can see that there are some of the files that we are seeing that were not in the first that we're not seeing before, right? Yes, there are some files that we are seeing now that we weren't seeing before. And if you look closely, you can see that some of these files begin with a period. So any file that begins with a period means that it is a hidden file. So what the -a option does is that it gives us all files in the present working directory, including hidden files. Okay, and with that, you can combine two or more options together to give you an output. Okay, so we can combine the -A option and the -L option together to give us a detailed list of information that includes all files, including the hidden files. So to do that, we are going to type ls-al, and this should, this time around, give us all the files in detail, including hidden files. Is that okay? All right. So the
Yes.
ls command also comes with a list order. Okay. It shows you the list, the number of items in your list according to a sorting order, which starts from the top to the bottom. Okay. So when you do an ls, you can see that the files are arranged from the first letter to the last letter, as you can see. But there's a way you can also change that, okay, using another option, which is the -R option. So if I use the -R option together with the ls, what it's going to do is going to reverse the sorting order. So in this case, it's not going to start from the first letter, but then it's going to reverse the order in which you can see the files. Okay, so if I run this command, yes, you can see that it is now reversed. Okay, so that's for the ls command. So now moving to another command, we are going to look at the copy command. Okay, the copy
Sure.
command, as the name implies, is used to copy files, okay, from one directory to another. So what we want to do now is to copy a file, okay, from one of the directories you can see here, which is my files, into our present working directory. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to type cp, okay, and the relative path to the place where the file is located. Okay. Later on, my colleagues would explain what the relative path is. So we have copy my files, Andrew. Okay, so this is a file that is in this directory. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to copy this particular file to our present working directory. Okay, so in order to do that, the copy command takes two arguments, the source and the destination. Okay, so right now what we've typed into the terminal now is the source. All right, so what we want to do now is to put in the destination where we want to copy the file to. Now we are saying that we want to copy the file to our present working directory. So to do that, you can simply put in a period like this, as in the full stop. Okay, what we all know as the full stop. Okay, yes, that period represents our current directory. Okay, so if I run that and run the ls again, we should see our andrew.txt file in our present working directory. Can we all see it?
Sure.
Good.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Good student.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, so kindly put your questions in the chat in case you have any, okay? All right.
Okay.
Feel free and ask all your questions that you want to ask. Okay. So let's move on. So we also have another command for navigating and managing files called the head command. Okay. Now what the head does is to show us the first few lines of our file, okay, the contents of our file. This command shows us the contents of our file. So, okay. So in order to do that, just for demonstration purposes, I'm first of all going to show you the contents of the andrew.txt file. Okay, so this is the contents of the andrew.txt file. You can see that it is very, very, voluminous.
It's
yes.
lengthy, yeah.
Very, very lengthy, yes. So maybe you may not be interested in the rest of the lines in your file. Okay, maybe you want to just see a few lines in your text file. So in order to do that, we are going to use a head command, okay? Together with the option N. Now, what the option N does is to specify the number of files that, specify the number of lines that you want to see in your text file, okay? So let's say we want to see 10 lines from our text file. So we use the head -N option and we specify 10, okay? Together with the relative path, which was my files / So do we all see what's happening here?
Yes.
Yes, you can see that it's giving us just the first, 10 lines of our text file.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So if it's not the head, then it is the what?
The tail of the
The tail. Good. Good student. So if it's not the head, it's the tail. Okay. So what if the head is giving us the first 5 lines of a text file? What is the tail going to give us? Yes. The last 10. Oh, yes. This common sense.
Yes.
I like that. So the tail command is also going to give us the last 5 lines, or depending on the number of lines you specify. All right. Yeah. So it's going to give us the last 10. Yeah. Correct. That's good. My students are learning. So yes. So this is also going to give us the last 10 lines in our text file. Is that okay? Yes. So okay. So up to this point, I illustrated a few of the commands that you can use to navigate your file and look into the contents of your file. There are many others, but we are constrained by time. So to leave room for other topics that we'll be discussing, I'm going to be handing over the next part of our presentation to, what's it called? Michael, yes, to Michael.
Yes, Michael.
To take us through the rest of the presentation. Thank you very much. Please, your questions are welcome. Put them in the chat and we'll gladly answer them. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Deli. Thank you so much for the presentation. So I'm Michael, and good afternoon to you all once again. So like Deli said, I will be also continuing with some of the commands. Let me share my screen. Please, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so let's zoom straight into action.
Yes.
So working with Linux files, there are some few important commands that we have to note. Okay, it's very helpful when it comes to working with files. Now, this instance that I've opened here is a fresh instance of my Ubuntu machine. Okay, I've not done anything. I've not run any command. Okay, so the first command we'll be looking at is the hash command. So what the hash command do is that it will show you all the commands, okay, or all the programs or commands that you have run, okay, all the commands that you have run in your system. So if I do this, you can see it says hash table empty, right? It means I haven't run any command yet as at the time I initialize this particular system. Okay, so let's run some few commands and see the output of the hash. So let me just do ls. Okay, let me do clear. All right, so I've run two commands, right? Which is the ls and the clear. Okay, so running the hash, a minute. Yes, so running the hash command, I should expect those two commands that I've run. Okay, so let's run the hash command again. Now you can see that I have the hash table here. We have the hits and then the command. So the hits here will specify the amount of times that you have executed the command. Okay, so here I just did the ls once and then the clear also once. So here I can just see just one for the hit. Okay, and then the command aspect shows you where exactly those commands are located in your system. Okay, so the ls command, you can see it in the usr/bin/ls. Is that clear?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
Yes. That's very clear.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
very clear.
yeah, boss.
So the other very important command we were looking at is what we call the ck sum. The ck sum. Now with the ck sum, it is very helpful when you are transferring files from one source to another. Okay, so the ck sum generates what we call the checksum value of every file. Okay, the checksum value. The checksum value is something like a code. So if there's an original file with a particular code, okay, and then I transfer the file to another destination, I should expect the same code at the destination file. The destination, okay, at the destination. So let's say if I transfer a video from one machine to another machine, I should expect similar check sum values for both the video in the first machine and the second machine. They should be the same. They should be the same. In case the checksum value varies, it means that there has been some tempering. Okay, the file has been tempered, or there has been some modification, or the file has been corrupted before it got to the destination, right? So we can use the checksum to verify whether a file was corrupted during transfer, and also we can also check whether the file was modified or edited or anything. So let me just do some quick. First of all, let me create a file. Now I've created this text file without anything, right? So let's check the checksum value of this file. So ck sum, that's the syntax ck sum with the file name. All right. So we can see some 49249 blah 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 0 and then the file name. Okay. So this 492 here is what we call the CRC. You can search more into that. We have no time to explain that. And then we have the 0 here, which is the size of the file in bytes. Okay. So if you transfer this file to another destination and then you realize that this code here has been altered, it means the file is either corrupted, modified, or edited. Let me just edit this file. Let me just use the VI like our sisters in group 1 showed us. So let me just do hi. Okay, let's check the sum of the what can we see? We can see that the file, the checked file has been altered, right? Yes. So yes. So here you can be sure that okay, the file has been edited or tempered with from the source. Is that clear?
Yes.
Very clear. Yes,
Okay,
sure.
so like Delia explained, if you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat. Our secretary will do all to read it out for us. Thank you. The next command is the find command. The find command. Yeah. It is also very, very, very useful when it comes to handling files in Linux-based systems. So the find command is used to search for files or folders or directories, files or directories within our system. Okay, so if you have a file that you want to search in your system, you can use the find command to search for that file. Okay, you can either search for a file or search for a directory. Okay, so let's say, let's this. Okay, so let's say we know we have some mickey.txt in some folder in our system. Okay, but then we don't know where it is, right? So the find command can help us to do that. So let me just demonstrate that for us. So we can type the find, and then there are so many things we can specify. Okay, we can specify the file type. Okay, the file type by using the -type command, the option, sorry. Okay, you can use the -type command. Now, there are so many options here. It can either be a directory, a regular file, a link file, and all that. So here, since it's a normal file, you can give it F, right? F means it's a normal file, okay? And you can also search using the name, okay? Using the name of the file. So you can specify the name option. You can specify the name option. There's also what we call the iname. Iname will ignore any capital letters or anything. Sylvia made us understand that for Linux system is very case sensitive. So capital letters are capital letters, small letters are small letters. So you wouldn't want to differentiate between the two. So in case you are not sure of whether the file contains other capital letters or small letters, you can use the iname instead of the name. Right. So for this purpose, let me just use the name and then specify the string. That's the name of the file. I can say Mickey. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. Now we can see that running this command, we saw that the file.txt is in our current directory. Okay, the current directory that I'm in now. You can also specify the starting point of where the search should begin. Okay, you can either specify maybe should begin from the root or from the any special location you have. Yeah. So let's say you want to begin from the root, right? Okay, so beginning from the root, you can see that the find command was able to give us the absolute path from the root. Okay, yes, so that's some fun fact about the find command. And with the find command, you can also combine it with many other commands. Okay, so let's say you want to change the permission of all text files in your directory. Okay, you wouldn't want to do that one by one. Okay, you can specify the find command and then you can use some special actions on it and then it will change all the files. So in case we want to change the user owner file permissions from all text files to 0, okay, we don't want to give any permission to all text files. Let's see how we can do that using the find command. So first of all, you have to find all the files with the .txt extension, right?
Yes.
Let me just move out from the root so we don't tamper with our root files. Let me just stay at the current directory. I think during one of our sessions, David mentioned that when you use star, you want to specify all the files, right? Do we remember that? When you do star, it means every
Yes, yes, yes.
every
Yeah,
file.
yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
I remember. Yes, it's true.
Now we can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 text files, right? In case I want to change all the permissions, I can just use the option we call exec, right? This exec helps me to perform a command on these outputs. Okay, so I can do exec chmod, right? And I can do maybe 000, right? It's a missing argument exec. Is it exec? Exec.
chmod.
I'm coming. EXEC.
The CH mode, you
Check the CH
make
mode.
Yeah,
CH MOD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CH mode, right?
Yes.
What's happening here?
I think there's like the hyphen should be 2.
Okay. Oh, what's happening? So yes, you can use the exec option. I don't know why it's not working here, but with the exec option, when you specify the command you want to run, okay, you can either delete, you can either change permission, change ownership of all the outputs of those files, right? You can use the exec command to do that. Unfortunately, it's not working here. Let's move on. Yeah, so another type of, let me just clear my screen here. Clear my screen, yeah. So another command which is very helpful is the grep command. Now with the grep command, it is used to filter content in a text file. Okay, unlike the find command, which is used to filter files in our system, the grep command is used to filter content in a text file. Right. So let me just view this. Let me just do cat. Let me just check the files we have. Okay, we have test, we have Mickey. Okay, let me just view Mickey. Okay, there's nothing in Mickey. Let me just view test. Okay, so this is what is in text.txt. Okay, so let's say there are more text than this. Okay, assuming there are more text than this, and I want to filter a particular line of text containing some particular pattern that I will state using the grep command. So in case I want to find a line that contains, let's say first, okay, I want to just output the line that contains first. So I'll just do grep. And then the string I want to find, and then the file. That's test. Okay, so with this, you can see that only the first line came up. Okay, only the first line came up. So note that the difference between the grep and then the find command is that the grep is used to find content within a text file, whilst the find is used to filter for files or directories in our system. Hope that is clear.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Very clear.
And then there's also what we call the diff. I'm sure time to permit us to do more commands here. The diff command is very, very, very interesting. For the diff command, it shows you the difference of lines between two files. Okay, the difference of lines between two files. So let me just do cat and then the test one dot txt, the test one.txt. Okay, so we can all view that in test.txt we have just 3 lines, right? First line, second line, third line. But in test 1, we have what? First line, second line, third line, fourth line. Now let me do diff. Then test .txt. So for the div command, you specify all the 2 files as an argument. Okay. So 2 arguments, the first one being the first file, the second one being the second file. So test 1. Yes. So let me explain this output here. So it is very simple. Whenever you see a less than, it means it is pointing to the second file. Whenever you see a greater than, it's pointing to the first file. So here we can see greater than line 4. Okay, it means that line 4 or the 4th line is missing from the first text. So all the text matches, but then the 4th line is missing. Okay, so in case I delete, let me do nano and then text dot. Okay, let me even add a 4th line here. Now, if I run this command again, you can see there's nothing. Okay, it means all the files are the same. Okay, there's no line that is not existing in the previous line. Okay, if I'm to change, I think I should do this. Let me see. I have time. Okay, I have time. Let me do test 1 very quick. Let me just modify this. Let me just change this here. Okay, so I've modified text 1. Okay, let me just do the grep again. Now here we can see a less than, right? It means the 4th line is missing from the second file. Please, is that clear?
Yes, very clear.
Yes,
Very clear.
please.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
boss.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so yes, that is some of the important commands. We'll also be looking at what we call link files. Okay, linking a file. So if you have a file, you can actually refer to those files using different files. Okay, so for instance, you might want to do that if, let's say, you have a file, for instance, okay, if you have a file with maybe a very huge name that you can't change the name of the file. Okay, what you would want to do is that you would create another file with a different name that is very short and then point it to the file with a huge name. Okay, so when you access the file with a small name, it actually points you directly to the file in the new name, in the long name. Yeah, so you can actually link files to other files. Okay, you can even link 4 or 5 files to the same file. Okay, so we do that using what we call the ln. Okay, and we have types of linking. We have the hard link and then the symbolic link. Okay, or the soft link. With the hard link, when the original file is being deleted, the content of the link file is also lost. Okay, so with the hard link, what it does is that it stores or it points to what we call the inode of a file. So the inode points to the actual data. Okay, every file has inode, right? So the inode, it gives the actual data location and then some of the attributes of the file. So if I point the file to the inode, I mean that's a direct link, right? Pointing to the inode. So if I delete any hard link file, the content of the link file is not lost. Okay, it's not lost because it's pointing to the inode. But with the soft or the symbolic link, that one, it just links the name. It doesn't point to any inode, right? So it just links the name of the file to the file you create. So that one, when you delete the original file, the file content is lost in the link file. Did I explain right? Do we get it? Or I should go back again? Okay.
Yeah.
So for hard link, data is not lost. For soft link, data is lost when you delete the original file. I can see Andrew Opon Asante has raised the hand. Do you have something to say?
Yeah, I want to chip in something. The
Okay.
soft link works as a shortcut in Windows. Shortcut.
Good.
Wow.
Thank you so much for that input. Yes. So like a shortcut, when you delete the actual file, the shortcut is also deleted. You can't find the content. Okay. Yeah. But with the hard link, when you link the file, you can actually, when you delete the original file, you can actually find the source, the source of the link file or the content of the link file is not lost. I think Andrew wants to say something again.
Sorry, like.
Okay. So you can put your hands down, please. Okay. So yes, that's it. And how to do that is just ln, and then the file you want to link. Let's say we want to link test1 to, let's say, any file we do. So maybe we just do tx1. Okay, so that's how it works. For a soft link, so this is actually a hard link. For the soft link, you have to provide the /s option, and then to create, okay, it exists already. Let me just change this. Okay, yeah. So with the soft link, you just use the /ss command. Yeah. And then also working with files, let me clear my, working with files, you would want to group certain files in a bundle form. Okay. You see, most of the times, if you download a file from the internet, it doesn't come as a single file. It comes as a bundle. Okay, maybe a zip file or something, right? So you can actually create a zip file or a bundle file. Let me say a bundle file. Okay, let me not use the word zip for a reason. You can either create a bundle file and then you can group two or more files in that file, and then you can add it can enable smooth move and then copy. Instead of copying the file one by one, you can bundle them and then move them as one. So to do that, there are several ways. You can use the tar. You can use the tar command. You can use the gzip command. Okay, the tar, the same as a tarball. Yeah, tarball or a tar. So let me do ls again. So I have text1 and tx1. Okay, in case I want to bundle these three files, I will just use them. Just use the tar to demonstrate that. So I'll just do tar. Okay, this tar command is used for bundling files. Tar, and then I'll specify the C option. I also specify a V and an F option. So C means to compress. V is a verbose. It actually applies to more commands. So here, and then you select the name of the file. Let's say I want to bundle all this into bnd.tar file. Okay, then I'll select all the files that I want. Okay, and I'll hit yes, that's it. So when I do ls again, we can see the T bar there. You can see the T bar there. Yes. Okay. Please, any question so far? Any questions so far?
None at the moment.
No.
Yeah, no
Okay.
questions.
Thank you so much.
They understand everything.
Okay. I think
Hey, I have a
Felix,
question.
don't call. Felix, don't
So
call.
the third thing you just did, I
Yeah.
don't know, is that the same thing? Can it do the zip too? Can it do zip?
Yes. So let me explain that quickly. So you either zip a directory, okay? So you can zip a directory. You don't zip files. Let me just explain that. So let's say let me create a directory here. Let me create it. It works in the same way. You can either band or zip. So if I create mkdir, right? Let's say Andy, right? Now I have this file here, Andy, right? So like I said, if you want to bundle files, you can use the tar or you can use the zip. So I can also move all the files to Andy and then zip Andy. So for me to zip Andy, you just specify zip and then the file name Andy. Okay, this will zip Andy. Zip. Okay, I think I have to install the zip. Do I have done it? Let me install the zip. Sudo. So I don't have the zip command. Okay. Okay, so this will install the zip command. Yeah, yes. And then you can be able to use that zip command. Okay, so you can move all the files to the zip and then to the zip folder, the folder you want to zip, and then you just apply the zip command there. Okay, if you want to unzip, just use the unzip command on that file, and then all the files will be unzipped. Is that clear, Felix?
Yeah,
that's
that's clear.
Hey, why, Felix?
Okay, so I think from here we have done more commands. I would have to hand over to my other team members to also continue with some other very, very important concepts when it comes to using Linux system. So thank you very much. I'll hand over to Andy to continue from here. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It seems like my friends has taken all the time and they have done all what I'm supposed to do. But I have a little bit of. Oh, okay. Now I can see. I'm coming.
Okay, you have all the time. Wow.
They have done everything. They first show you how to navigate the file system, and they showed you how to search for files using the find and the other things, and how to we'll go through files using more and less and cut and other stuff. Now, every file has permissions, as my dear brother said, and I want to show you what I'm going to present on is how to manage those permissions. So managing file permission online is the overview of the of my presentation. At the end, you will know how to view and change file permission, compare symbolic and absolute presentation, understand file ownership and groups, manage user and group permissions. Although it might sound new to you, they have already been presented on during our morning lecture, groups and users. So every file has permissions. The permissions are the read, write, and execute permission. Let me show you how it's done. We use the ls with the option L to get the content of a file with their permissions. And during Daily's presentation, he taught you some of the file permissions. File permission, this file, that's the underground, says underground 2019. Its permissions are for the user or the owner of the file. He has the read, write, and execute function. Everyone has read, write, execute function on that file.
Okay.
And you can see that some of their permissions begins with a D. D means directory. So as you can see, any file, any directory is beginning with a D. And if you see one beginning with L, it means it's a link. So that's that. Ownership of a file. Here you can see this side. This one tells you how many hard links or the links it has, not the number of links it has. So that's what this column tells. This column is for the owner who owns the file.
Okay.
And this group, this column is for the group that owns the file. This is the file size and the date of modification and the file name. So file are owned. So with this one, these are the owner of the file and the groups. So we change ownership by using ch own. Before we start, let me create a file. Oh, okay, print. So my friend has already taught you how to select how to use grep. So here I want to view only the file with the extension tst. So this one only print the file with the extension tst so that you can see the changes that happens to it. So with the new created file, that's, as you can see, the last day of modification was the day it was created. That's 19/15/27.
No.
The permission it has, the first one is for the determine if it's a file or a link or a directory. As you can see, it's a file. The first three symbols or characters tells the owner of the file, who the kind of permission the owner of the file has on the file. So with the owner, he has the read and write permissions. He doesn't have the execute permission. The second three, that's from this one to here, is the permission of the groups. The kind of permission the group have on it. And the group, as you can see, it only has read and write as the same as the owner. And the last one is for others. And for others, it has only the read function. So to change the owner of the group, we use ch own. I want to change it to Hunter. So they change the owner of the group to root. So this is it. So with this, you can see that the new owner of the file is root. If you want to change the owner of the file or the group of the owner of the group to root 2, there's a way of going about it. Oh. Since we want to change the owner of the file to root, we type the root here, and the group 2, we type it here. So the kind of permission this file has is the owner of this file is both roots. You can also change it back to Hunter. So at this time, the person who owns this file is Hunter, and the group that owns this file is root. I hope everyone understands.
Yes.
Now, let's go to the next slide. So that's how you change ownership by using the change on, as I demonstrated. So the next slide, changing file permissions. Beginning, I said that we have the user permission, the group permission, and the
Other
others permission. Yeah. Sorry, sometimes I stammer, so you have to forgive me on that.
Oh, you are
We
doing
have
well.
two ways of going about
Don't
it.
worry, don't worry, don't worry.
We have
No
the
worry.
symbolic mode and the absolute mode. First, I'll teach you the symbolic mode before we come to the absolute mode. So let's use the symbolic mode. So the file we'll be working on is this one. I want to give everyone execute permission on that file. So this is how you go about it. So plus X. Sorry. You can see now X has been added to it. So everyone has execute permission. The owner has execute permission. The group has execute permission, and others has execute permission.
Yes.
Assuming I just want to give only the user execute permission. This is how to go about it. Here, I can take the permission off first. Meaning no one has execute permission. Now give a new permission to the file. But this time around, I want only the user, that's the owner of the file, the execute permission. That will be X. So once we check on the file, you see that only the owner of the file has execute permission. If you're not the owner, you don't have the execute permission. Again,
Yes.
if I want to give the others write permission, I have to think it.
Yeah, send the example.
Just now.
But please continue.
Boy.
Sorry, what
What's your
was I
10
talking about?
gig drop?
What
You want
others?
stop? Hey,
Others with the right permission. Oh, sorry. Now you can see that others have the right permission. That's how
Yes,
to
yes.
change it.
Well,
Now the absolute mode. With the absolute mode, you have to understand a bit of a binary numbers. Before let me go
okay,
through that. And
okay.
in binary numbers, one is 1, or we can make it 001. I hope everyone understand that.
Yes.
yeah.
2 is
Yeah.
010.
Okay.
3 is 011. 4
Okay.
100. 5 101. Yes, Sunny.
Yo, Charlie. You just started with
Yep.
1 is 001, 2 is 00. How come you get those things, that binary? Can you just tell us or explain to us, okay, this is how I came up with this? You see that?
Okay. Sorry.
Can you
But
put
you
the
just
question
started
in the
with
chat?
1 is, no, I was saying
Sorry.
it actually. That's why I raised my hand.
Don't
Oh,
worry, don't worry. Let me explain. We have hexadecimal, decimal, and binary. We have different type of number system. Binary numbers count number up to 2, up to 1. That's 1 0 1 0. Binary numbers, we have only 2 numbers. That's 0 and 1. Hexadecimal, we have only 10
zero.
numbers. That's 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Once you reach 9, we come back to 1 0. Like we have 1 2 3 sorry 4 5 6 why am I missing up to 7 8 9. Then you come back to 1 0. That's for a decimal. Once you reach the number 10, you come back to 1 0. For binary, once you reach 2, you come back to 1 0. Then you start again. We also have hexadecimal. Once you reach, yes, Mike.
Oh, continue.
Okay.
Sorry, continue. Sorry.
In hexadecimal, once you reach 10, you go to A, then you go, 11 will be B, 12 will be C,
Yes, you
30 will
understand.
be E, and 14. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Wow.
It's hexadecimal. That's once you reach 16, you come back to 1 0. What we are working on is binary numbers. So once you reach 2, that's why let me add 0 here. 0 will be 0 0 0. 1 will be 0 0 1. 2 will be 0 1 0. I hope you understand, Ashani.
Yes.
Yes.
We want it all up to 7.
Yes. 4.
Right.
Good. So the first one is for the read, right?
Yes.
Yep. We are going to use numbers. We are going to use 3 set of numbers. And each number, the number will be from 0 to 7. And this is how this is what it means. Anytime you see 0, it means no one has permissions. That means nothing is 1 here. Once you see 1, it means only the permission it has is only the execute permission. Once you see 2, it means it has only the write permission. Once you see 3, it means it has the write and execute permission. 4, only the read permission. 5, only the read and execute permission. 6, read and write permission. 7, it has every permission. That's read, execute, and write.
Sure.
So if you want to give only the owner the the read permission only, this is how to go about it. If you want to change the permission of the file and give only the owner the read permission, it will be What was the file name? Prempe. As you can see,
Okay.
here the first four stand for the owner of the permission for the owner. The second one, the 0, stands for the permission of the group. And the third one, the third 0, the third number, that's the 0, it stands for the permission for the others.
Okay.
If you use this one, it means no one has permission. The first one was 4, right? It means it has only the right function, the right permission. Then the rest has none. That's why you see only R. You can change the permission on this file. Maybe if you make it 5, once you go back, you will notice that the permission has changed. Now the owner has only the right function or the read permission, but the others, no, the group has the read execute permission and others has none. On the table, you see that 5 is only the read and execute. That's
Okay.
why we have that one. Now let's go back to the slides.
Okay.
I think I have already gone through this.
Yes.
So best practice and risks. Avoid using 777 to grant all permissions to a file. Once you give a grant all permissions to a file, it means anyone that gets access to the file can execute it. Run it. No, run means execute. Delete it, write to it, and view it. It's best practice to give only the who's allowed who's allowed privilege. That's the follow the least privilege principle. It means if you don't have if you are not allowed, you shouldn't give you the right and right view and no right execute and read permission. And use pseudo carefully when modify ownership.
Okay.
And I think that's all I have, and that's all I was given. So thanks, guys.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
thank you,
done.
Andrew. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
If you have any
Thank
question
you. Thank you.
or
So we
anything,
have
please
we
ask.
are done with our
Mhm.
presentation. So please, if you have any question right now, you can raise your hand. I'll call you. You ask a question, then we answer. Thank you. Any question, please? Okay,
Yes.
Hudson, please ask your question.
Please, I don't have a question. I just wanted to compliment the group, and
Okay.
the presentation was clear.
Thank
I
you.
was hooked up with the demo, especially the last. Sorry, I'm missing the name, but the last presentation with all the demo, I was hooked up to the end, and kudos to you
Wow.
guys. Keep it
Wow,
up.
thank you.
Thanks for the
Thank you.
compliment.
Thank you. Thanks, bro. We see you.
Yeah, yeah. Well done. Well done. Please, I'll
Yeah.
be expecting your marks. Oh,
Oh,
that's good. That's good. Yeah, group 2, yes, so far that's good. Well done. So that means in group 3, your the bar is high, right?
Charlie.
Very high, very high, very high.
So let's look up to yours tomorrow morning. So this is interesting. You can see everyone in that group is involved, right?
coordinated.
Yeah. Is that Sylvia? That's your group.
Yes.
Serious as coordinator.
Okay. Okay. Well done.
Yeah,
So,
that's our
Anthony,
secretary. Our secretary.
Anthony, that's group organization. That's a good job from your hand. So, congratulations, right?
You're
Well done.
welcome.
Yeah. So let's look forward to others. I'm yet to see the best. So so that's what I'll say. Um, Shani.
Yeah, David. I wanted to ask some questions there, but I know, we haven't done ours yet. And if I ask that question, George will kill us one day, the day that we are going to do ours. So I just want to compliment on what they present. So guys,
I
you
just
really
received
did
my
a massive
10K.
work.
Yes.
So guys,
I
you
was
really
about
did well.
asking
Hey,
you, sir.
George, hey, I don't want any problem, eh? So I beg you. You need to see, I know they talk, I know they ask any question.
George, please, you want to
So
say
don't.
something?
Or if you have any question, please feel free and ask.
Please,
Uh,
I have
Don't
nothing
say
to say.
something.
I'm just worried about Sunny. Please feel free, okay? Feel free. As for this group, I have nothing. I have no problem with them.
okay.
Please feel free to ask your questions, okay?
Is there any question you would like to ask them, Judge?
Oh, no, no, no. I was just trying to tell Sunny that he should be free to ask his questions.
Uh,
I have no problem with him for now.
okay.
Abi.
Hmm.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, Shani. Who again? Yes, Kwabena.
Hello.
Not Kwabena, Kwame.
Yeah. Please,
Yes.
am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, yeah. I
You're
wanted
sound
to ask
audible.
a question.
Okay.
Yeah,
George,
I
you're
think
great. The
from
point for that group.
the second demo,
Kwame Abi, you're
yeah.
in which group?
Why do you want to know my group? Relax.
Five. Okay.
Okay, so I want to ask a question. One of you took a straw to copy files from a directory to another directory. So I wanted to ask, what about copying a directory to another directory? Is that also possible? And how can we do that? Because I think you didn't show us any
Okay.
demo about that.
So, not to cut you short, that is possible, but we did not include that because it was beyond the scope of what we were doing. So maybe in further presentations, we will cover that thoroughly. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You can just add
Am I?
R to it, okay, to move audio file. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
add a
yeah.
recursive file to it. You move the file. That should be
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
great group. Great group. Well done. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, that is this. So, group 3, we'll look forward to yours tomorrow. I think going forward, this method has been helpful. Everyone is involved and it's clear. I hope you've all received your data.
Yes, but
Yeah.
Untian has deducted mine.
You're also weighing them again.
Yes. Yeah, but
Okay. Okay. You're holding empty and data bundle again. Then you need prayer point too.
oh, I'm just joking. I was just joking.
Okay, guys. So I will see you tomorrow. Well done. And please, group 3, don't let us down. The bar is high.
Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Ah, come on.
So let's look forward to an interesting session from you tomorrow. So all the best. And take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.